Hello and welcome back to another installment of Poke Fodder. And there's nothing wrong with your screen. You don't need to adjust the colors. I got demoted. I got regulated. I am no longer, I don't even know what it is. Was it Ultra League? Not that. That's not where we're trying to look. Trying to maybe look, I don't know. We're no longer Ultra League. It has been a rough few games. Weekend. If you'll remember, I took my fun deck, I believe on Friday. I took a fun deck in and lost one game and then won a game. And then after that, made a really terrible play and ended up costing myself the next game. And it's kind of all been downhill from there. And I can't get out, I cannot get out of it. Although I am on a little bit of an upswing, I will say. I was down in the low 2800s, so I have climbed my way back up to the low 2900s. Oh man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this deck right here and Lunala, Solgaleo, Tapu Koko. There was a Sableye in there, I'm pretty sure. I've got my Inkay to Malamar, and I've got, I don't even remember, I've got Rayquaza in there. Why can I not think clearly right now? This doesn't bode well for me going into a match that I can't recall what it is that I'm trying to say here. But I know we have Lunala. I know we have Solgaleo. There it is. Koko, Sableye, Rayquaza, Inkay into Malamar. I'm going to try to turn this around, and I'm only going to take one whack at this on the video, and then I've got something that I want to show you. And while I am playing this game, and while you're watching this particular game against, was that Penazcon? Don't know what that means, but his deck of Lunala, Mimikyu, Gengar. I'm sure that's a Mega Gengar hiding in there. It is. Ho-Oh, Decidueye, and Mew. But while this is going on, I want you to think in your head, how many different ways can a Pokemon move without making an MP move? Be thinking about that. We're going to circle back around for game 2 of this video, which I'm actually not even going to play game 2 of the video, but I definitely want you thinking about that. Anyway, my opponent looks like he's going to be ultra defensive, taking Mimikyu out first and then dropping Mimikyu back to cover goal. I'm going to take that opportunity to take my Inkay out. My whole goal is to get Inkay knocked out pretty much as soon as possible. If it happens to confuse someone, even better. If it doesn't confuse anybody, and in fact, here's what I want to happen. I want him to attack with Decidueye. If I roll and it's not going to happen, so it doesn't matter. Never mind. We'll just forget about it. I'm going to throw Sableye over here in the corner because Sableye is a really good matchup. No matter what his Lunala's wheel looks like, Sableye is a good matchup. And that's to be expected. I'm actually going to, I do have a double chance. I have 2 of them as a matter of fact. I find Lunala to be one of his bigger threats. Therefore, I'm going to respin this because I have since he rolled the miss, I had the chance at the straight up knockout. No risk. Definitely happy with that. Does he have a max revive? X speed, X attack. No max revive. Very good. He will probably bring Mew down. That's what I would expect. And if he does, then I'm just going to drop Tapu Koko onto my goal. Okay. Did not really foresee that. I think Let me check. I think I have Gold Block, and I do. I have Gold Block in this deck. So I'm going to actually just take my Lunala and start pressing forward. Mew, I should, the key word being here, should. I should be able to handle Mew pretty easily without a lot of risk. Simply by dropping Tapu Koko, that should do it. One thing I did do is my Solgaleo. I changed the wheel, I put it up to 130 instead of 110. And then on top of that, I went back and increased the 130 wheel slice. So now I have a 50-50 chance. I need to go in and swap out one of my double chance plates, or maybe my X attack plate, and put in Steel Energy. Because then my Leo will hit for 140. That actually is going to work out fairly decently, I believe. I'm going to go ahead, take this opportunity to attack into Gengar. Did not work out for me. He did roll the dodge. He cannot hop over, well, he can, but he's not going to hop over there. So I feel okay with that. Probably doesn't want to attack with Decidueye into Rayquaza. Okay. That is awful. And as you can see, it's just more of the same. I don't know. So I'm going to lose Sableye as well. No, I couldn't have attacked there. Man. I'm going to hop over. I have to get the knockout here. And he rolls dodge again. So now he's most likely going to take Gengar, make it Mega Gengar, and then take over my entry point. At which time, I think, oh, that was an interesting play. Well, let me see. What needs to happen? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust out my Max Revive right here. That was so dumb. Just not thinking clearly at all. That was so dumb. That's why you don't change your train of thought in the middle of a play. I was going to take Sableye out and put Sableye right here, and then realize, oh, look, I don't have to do that. And then I took a Malmar that has 4 weight that I can't do anything with. So here we go. Double chance. That's going to be good enough for the knockout. And I kind of got bailed out there. That was a pretty horrific play on my part. I've made worse on my channel. And this is kind of what's been going on. Is I've had some bad RNG. I think everybody has bad RNG. But I'm also I'm not seeing the board clear. I'm not playing smart. I'm playing really, really dumb. And I'm being punished every time. I'm not getting away with anything, if you will. Actually, so then the question becomes, I think I'm just going to back up one here and go for threaten this round. I have no idea what my opponent's going to do, what he's thinking about doing. But he definitely, if I were my opponent, that's what I would have done. And then, whoa. Hello, unfortunate roll. But that's the same play I would have done. So I'm not going to fault my opponent for that one. Another advantage to running Steel Energy, and I know you'd say, well, why would you run Steel Energy just for one figure? But if I could run Steel Energy, Solgaleo would hit 140 on his alternate roll, and he would be immune to Mega Gengar's Toxic. And one thing that I typically try to do is I try to keep Solgaleo up against Mega Gengar. That's a matchup that I like. And 140 can hold a base Mega Gengar, not a fancy or a souped up one. What does he have? Counterattack, goal block, switch. Not really afraid of that. I did go in and change my Rayquaza from everything being in the 140 to some in the 60. And the reason for that was, wow, there's so many Combustions running around right now. And they're like 61, 63 typically. And I don't know. I guess there's plenty of things that I could do. All right. Let's go for the Fly Cheese. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Switch, go block, counterattack. Okay. Well, he doesn't have Tapu Koko. My Tapu Koko is just chilling on the back line. Let's bring Malamar out. I'm most likely, unless he attacks with Decidueye into my Solgaleo, I'm most likely just going to drop Leo back one spot, which is what I'm going to do to guard my goal. And now I've got a decent matchup here. Malamar should be able to knock out. I'm completely okay with that. And a miss is nothing. 2 golds would have been, a gold there would have been really bad. I'm going to go ahead and go for the attack here. And we're going to get knocked out. Somebody is. Most unfortunate, most unfortunate. So I guess he could bring... Oh, do I get to choose? No, okay. I was wondering because Malamar chooses if you move your opponents around. I was like, do I get to choose which Pokemon I'm going to KO? But that was not the case. And he's been aggressive this whole time. I don't foresee that changing. So, like, my guess is he'll just take Gengar to right there. No. Which... Oh. Now, if he knocked... Do I still have my gold block? Good. Now, if he knocks out my Gengar, I'm telling myself more than I'm telling you guys. Do not just slide over. You have to gold block. Because if I just slide over, then he can take his Mew and swing around there. Take up my entry point. I'm going to go ahead and say that Lunala is going to be my best option here. I don't know why. Don't know why I'm in this situation. Would have preferred to have already beat this guy up, moved on about my day, and gone on to video number 2, which you're supposed to be thinking about the number of ways that you can make a move without making an MP move in Pokemon Duel. That is your task. Maybe should have taken Rayquaza over one. And what that's going to do is that's going to prevent his Mew from slingshotting around. Oh, goodness. I don't know. Go there. Now he can hop over with Gengar and knock me out, but then I'm just going to replace it with Leo. Okay. And all I can hope for here is that I don't get knocked out, which I'm most likely going to get knocked out. That's... Oh, man. Fly or break energy? Wow. I'm not going to lie. I'm not arrogant. I'm not conceited. But I should not be struggling this much with the deck my opponent is running and the rank that my opponent is. I absolutely should not be struggling this much. And it bothers me to no end that my opponent even came close to winning a game. And I'm not arrogant or conceited. I'm flat out saying that I don't know what's going on, but I need to get it turned around. I need to play better. I expect better out of myself. You guys expect better, because if I'm losing to opponents that I absolutely should be crushing, then there's really no need for you guys to watch, because you guys can go anywhere. And I do apologize. I'm not sure how I've gotten in this position. Man. We're just going to keep marching up here with Rayquaza. Wow. That's the first Mimikyu I've seen at level 10? Or is it just level 5? I'm going to back up here so I don't get Rainbow Wing cheesed. Oh, it's only level 5. Okay. But why did they level up Shadow Claw? Aren't they? Since I don't have a Mimikyu leveled up, I thought Shadow Claw and Curse were the same size. Hallelujah. Alright, no Curse. Okay. And I do still have a Swap Spot and an X attack. See what he wants to do. I'm just going to go ahead and attack since I have a entry point open. That paid off. He should be able to... He still has a Gold Block and a counter attack. If I were him, I would Gold Block with Gengar to set up the surround with Mew on the next turn. My guess is... Okay. Again, I have my entry point open, so I'm just going to attack. Now I imagine he's just going to hop Lunala over. And again, because I have my entry point open, I am going to attack his Lunala. And I'm actually going to drop my X speed just in case. I'm not sure that it even matters. Just in case I roll that break energy. I can't fly. So 30 would have been 62. And then add 30 would have been, or 32, so it would have been a push. And he still has his Mew. Wow. Bad roll. No worries. It's not like I expected to roll 6 or 7 straight winning rolls anyways. We will take my Malmar up, and it would be nice to start sleeping some people. Oh. Wowzers. His Decidueye is doing some work today. Rolling Grass Knot into 130, rolling Gold into Purple. Speaking of Gold into Purple, ooh. That was a roll that typically I'm not gonna win. If you are the Sableye version of the Sableye Mew attack, you're typically not gonna come out on the favorable end of that. Will-O-Wisp. Cool with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out my Leo, and then I don't care what he does with Mimikyu, unless he drops Mimikyu right here. I'm going to hop over and try to status Leo. And if I lose, I lose. I will cycle out and bring Rayquaza back in. Okay, so he did not, and I don't care if I get surrounded on the next play. I want Lunala statused. Perfect. I'm 100% okay cycling through my Sableye to reduce Lunala down to 1 real attack. Now I will press back forward here. Could have attacked, but I don't necessarily need to, because he has status effects. So he's got more than 25%. He's got 28, so almost 30% of his wheel is a miss at this point. And it doesn't matter. Okay. So, wow. Super fortunate that he was burned there. Otherwise, Rayquaza would have lost that roll. I like Rayquaza. The 60 is just not good. It's almost a liability. I'm not going to go so far as to say it is a liability, but it almost is. And this game is taking forever. Definitely want to get into that other match. The other match will be quick, though. You have to take this opportunity. I'm going to bring Malmar back. And I may have said this in another video. I remember thinking this, and I've had a discussion about higher tier players are completely comfortable leaving 1 Pokemon back to play defense. And they use 3 for offense. And they're successful. I have 3 back, and now I feel comfortable. Like rocking 3 of them back here. I'm like, okay, well now I feel pretty safe. Again with the break energy. Can't get away from it. Not going to attack. He may just slide Gengar right there to set up this round. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to hop over here, let him have my entry point. But it prevents this round. And he's got to be using AI at this point because no human would make that play. I'm not, unless it was just a misclick. Like, I'm not sure what the reasoning behind going there would be. Hopefully I confuse him. Learning is good too. So I will just slide over since I have to kill a turn. 107. I don't know why his clock isn't running. It's been a good 5 seconds and his clock never did run. Okay. So I will take over there. And he's still at 107. 106. Okay. Don't see the need to attack here. We'll go ahead and cover my goal back up. I don't know why, but I feel like I should. He's got counterattack. It's not going to matter because I'm sitting on top of my goal. But if I could get some sleep in here and start trapping his Pokemon, I have my entry points free. I might as well take this opportunity to try to drop a status effect on his Gengar, which did not happen. But that would have been good. Just step over with my Lunala. Way more difficult than this should have been. And I haven't seen any obvious moves that I should have made. Now my entry point wasn't free and I attacked. That was a terrible play on my part. What I'm going to do is, even the AI will probably take over my entry point, I would imagine. I will drop down with my Leo. Okay. So just go ahead and press forward here with my Tapu Koko. That was interesting that they attacked there with Mimikyu into interesting. I'm going to go over here. And what that's going to do, that's going to force him to move his Ho-Oh back out. I can't see him attacking. Oh, okay. I don't really have a problem with that. I guess he could roll the 100 into my 83, and then I can't get to my goal. But then again, he didn't even attack. So here's try number 1. Perfect. Try number 2 is going to be Koko after Mew. Now, unless my Koko gets knocked out, I'm going to take over that entry point. And that's what I'm going to do. So I've got the entry point. This is now close on time because my opponent has to be running AI at this point. No gold into purple. Ooh, living dangerously. And then I get to choose where he goes. So now I'm going to try to knock him out. Oh, no, no, no. He even rolled the white. He even rolled the white. Got to roll 83. 83. Gonna go ahead and just drop over here. I've got a 9-second advantage. It's not gonna be enough because the AI can do 4 or 5 turns per play. Not falling for the bait. I'm not chasing him with anybody. My opponent's clock has not moved. Hopping over. My clock moved. This will be his 3rd play. Okay, so it finally moved. Back up to a 9-second lead. And at this point, I guess I'm just going to waste his AI tickets. I'm going to have to be able to move quicker. That may not even be a good idea. I don't know that I can physically move fast enough for it to matter. Because now I'm down to just a 7-second lead. Unless this clock changes. 8 seconds. Yeah, this is pretty boring. Probably pretty boring for you guys to watch too. But we're just going to let him waste his AI tickets. Because there's no way I'm going to give him any kind of an advantage. I'm not going to pull my Coco off of his entry point to attack Mew, and then let him bring Mimikyu and Decidueye back out. He's definitely running AI, although I thought AI after a certain number of turns would move something else. But apparently, oh, as I say that, there we go. Still going to make the same move. Down to a 7-second advantage. And just going to keep doing this. It's on him at this point to make a play, and he's not. So I don't necessarily see a reason to give up my strength, which is my positioning. And I'm really weak with my 2 defenders back here in goal against Mew. I mean, let's be honest. I've got a boatload of purple, and he has a boatload of gold. That doesn't really bode well for me. And he's turned off AI, because now I'm back up to a 12-second advantage. I have no idea what just happened. Nonetheless, I'm going to take the victory. Really disappointed. And like I mentioned before, I should not have struggled. What did you come up with? How many different ways can you move without actually making an MP move? And the reason why I'm asking is because on my Discord, there was a game where Soteris does the unthinkable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the game, I'm going to load up the ID, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the game here. And there's nothing I can say to lead you into this without giving it away. So what we're going to do, we're going to load it up. And here we go. Now, I want you to watch this. I'll give you the commentary, but I just want you to watch this. This is Soteris running the Trev and Santler deck that I mentioned. So he opens up with Rowlet on the back line. Totally good with that. The opponent comes out with Gengar. They all do. And Santler to mirror. So far, so good. Typical shuttle Shuppet trap. The opponent brings Gengar to Mega Gengar, and I'm not sure why Diego waited so long to do this, but moves down, takes the attack, not a bad attack, but Tapu Bulu rolls the dodge. And if you said long throw for how to make an MP move with how to make a move on the board without doing an MP move, give yourself a point. That is followed up with Trev coming out, Santler to goal. DOA is going to press down. I like that play there to get Trev out on the front line. So now if you come down to attack, he's in a position where he can change you into a grass type. If you said full swing for how to move without an MP move, give yourself a point. Virizion has yet to make an MP move. Got thrown all the way to the other end. And hold on, where's my stop? Well, I'm gonna give it away. You know what's happening, right? Boom, Typhoon Slash. And the video's not stopping for me, and I wasn't fast enough. But in case you missed it, here's what happened there. I was kind of talking over it. But, and I'll leave, you can rewind and check out the code if you want again. But what happened was Virizion was long throw to get the surround. Then, a couple of plays later, as you saw, Tapu Bulu did full swing and swung Virizion from the left lane all the way to the opponent's entry point. Then on the next turn, Trev attacked into the Terrakion, rolled Manipulative, which allows you to move your Grass-type Pokemon. Virizion went from the entry point to one off of the opponent's goal. The opponent moved Tapu Koko onto the goal. We have a double chance into Typhoon Slash. So 4 moves, not a single one of them were an MP move. I'm going to say that I've never seen that, because I'm not sure that I've ever seen that. But there you go. There are 4 ways, and there are more. You can have like what one of those moves, like psychic shove, where you get moved. Spiky shield will move you. So there are others. We have, well, Trev's Manipulative we already saw. The pre-evolution of Metagross has an ability where you can move things around. So there are possibilities, but to take a Pokemon from the bench to cap the opponent's goal without making an MP move, I don't think I've seen that before. Really cool stuff. I appreciate Soteris for sharing that. And this video is forever long. It's Monday. The first regular Monday of 2018. I've got work to do. I've got to get back up over 3,000. I've got to figure out, I've got to get my, as they say, I've got to get my head right with ball and stop making terrible plays. And we're still waiting for something new. We did have the, so what is it? Is it the silver moon hall where you can get 15 Carbonite? Definitely go ahead and check that out. You got nothing else to do anyways. But that is going to wrap it up for me for Monday. So until next time.